Hey everyone, before we get going at this video, I'd like to give a shout out to Brian Walker. Brian, really appreciate your comments, and I would have loved to have commented back, but there's no reply button under your comments, so you must have your privacy settings set in such a way that nobody can reply. So I have read them, and I really appreciate them. So if you can and you want me to reply, you might have to go to Google+. I think they're kind of responsible for this mess, and check out your privacy settings. In the meantime, thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoy this video. Take care.
What you doing with it now?
Oh, I got the there's a grease nipple broke off in one of the, or some people call them zerks, broke off in the cylinder here. So I got to try to get that out, because you can't let that go, because the bottom of the cylinder won't get greased. But boy, I'm going to tell you now, it wasn't yesterday that was out. So we got to try to figure out how to get that.
So that's holding in that long ram there, right? So you have to take that all the way out to fix it?
Yeah, I'm going to take it all the way out. Give me a hammering advantage.
Yeah, that's right, you can get at it better.
I'm going to tell you one thing, it wasn't yesterday, that was greased. That's been broke a long time. So anyway, I'm going to go to work at that, but anyway, here's our parts. We did the service yesterday. So we're going to test the switch. Right? Then
New boots.
No shoes. New shoes.
New shoes.
And there's the boots for the tie rods. And they come with their clips and stuff, so we'll be putting them on now a little later. But for now, I gotta go and see if I can get that out. So we'll be back. Okay, so we're gonna try extractors to get that broken zerk out of there. I'm gonna use the smaller type. Now some of these are like a spiral type too, like a reversed thread, and I don't like using that type. They do work in some cases, but what ends up happening to them, sometimes they'll actually try to take out the thing, but they're swelling it at the same time. So this is the type that I choose to use a lot, and they usually work. If you want to try to get down there, Kathy, and show them down inside, it's pretty deep, so this is going to be my attempt to get it out. So that's basically how they work. Then I use these things here, and they hold taps, and they're pretty neat. So we'll see what happens here. Wowzers. Look at that, eh?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about this now. Leave yourself out of it.
Oh my.
Look at that, eh?
Beautiful.
So now we have to go and find another zerk to put down there. So
Super cool.
I'll be right back. Anybody that has a tractor should have a zerk kit. Not expensive. What, Princess Auto, maybe 20 bucks, maybe. And maybe half the price of that sometimes on sale.
They're great kits. They have awesome kits.
Yeah, it's pretty good, you know, for that. I guess Harbor Freight in the States would be the one to go to or something like that. The problem is hard starting because it's down deep. So I use a piece of rubber hose, guys, just a piece of vacuum hose, and I put a wire up inside of it to keep it stiff. Are you with me so far?
I'm following you so far.
And then I just take it simply and start it like that. And you can put spark plugs in. This is what I use for spark plugs as well.
Really, that is cool.
That's super cool,
That
Kathy.
is super
It's
cool.
beyond
I'm
cool.
telling you.
You
I
know?
like it.
So, there we have it. Now I just got to install.
Awesome.
Good. We got her in.
Good job.
Boy, jumpers, man, oh man, that was easy to do.
No, it didn't go without a fight.
No. No, we got no worries about it falling out. No.
Which is good.
Which is good, yeah. I gotta go get a wrench. I'm too lazy for that. Well, I thought the Zerk would be the hardest thing to get out. But the problem was getting the lock bolt back in. Now, will it take the grease?
That is the question.
Because that was as dry as a cork. Cool.
That is super cool.
So, at least now we know it's going to work for them.
Awesome.
Another thing I found with these BXs coming in is this bottom step has been drove over, and when you put down the outriggers, they've been hitting the outriggers. So it's only a matter of just giving them a smack back. Better to keep a distance from those outriggers. You don't want to damage them. And we're using our new grease gun, which is nice.
Which is nice, yeah.
Yeah. But he's hard to get off because he's new, see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can adjust the number of pumps on this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to put 4 pumps on it.
Okay, let's see.
Yep. And there's one important one down here that most people, well, because he fills up with garbage, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right, it's covered.
Yeah. I'll give him an extra one because I don't think he's seen a lot of grease in his day.
Sure, a lot of places to grease.
Oh, well, over here in the back of this swing cylinder.
There's one in there.
Yep, he's down here in the back, so.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go.
And of course, if you have the bigger backhoe, he's going to have 2 swing cylinders, one on each side. So. And so that.
Includes that.
Well, that concludes the back. Now, under here, there is one tucked away.
Oh, Molly, you really got to know where they're at.
That's where he's to.
In there.
And that's the one that gets left out. Yep. And remember in the last video for this machine, we had downdraft was C solid.
Yeah.
I'll just come over. Now he's good, look. So he's working as he should. And another tip for the BX is take some fluid film and grease all the grease points. You know, not grease points as much, but anywhere it slides. And yeah, I did that already. And also, the wiring casing was cracked off, and the bare wire was showing. So I put some more casing on it, and I taped it in, and plus I zip tied it on. And that way, these are your safety switches for your seats.
You don't want those rubbing.
And if they rub, and your machine possibly won't start. So it's just something to, just something quick that you can do that'll make a big difference. So I'm gonna continue on and grease the front of it, and then I'm going to start replacing some parts. So to get at these down here, you've got to tilt your bucket a little bit. Now anybody who's a seasoned BX owner will know this. There's lots of newbies out there that don't know, you know.
Your little tip helps.
Yeah. What I like to do now is I like to go back with a rag and go over any of the low-lying fittings that got grease on the grease nipples. I left over because what's going to happen is they're going to pack in with the dirt and they're going to plug, so it's better off to clean them out. And that way it makes for a much more professional type of job, you know? Okay, we're going to chase after the multi-function switch or headlight switch, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be a master plug right here. So we're going to, there's a little lock on it. And you're going to unplug it. Then you're going to reach up with your two, as our little fella used to say when he was small, with your singers.
Singer.
And there's two little tabs, and you're going to push in on the tab. And there's the tabs right there. So rather than just put the switch in and forget about it, what I like to do is I like to go and pick up some dielectric grease. Now guys, don't ask me what dielectric grease is. Google is your friend. Dielectric. Google it and you'll see the advantages of it. I'm not a chemist, but really good on electrical and rubber components. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the switch on the plug itself, and that way when I plug this in, it's going to pretty well be resistant from corrosion. And I also like to rub some on the wires down here. Now people are going to say you're too particular, and yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. I won't argue with you. Never won an well, I never won an argument yet on the internet. And I've tried. Yeah, not going to happen. So we're going to simply put that there like that. Plug her in and check the function of it all. So the original complaint was no hazard lights. We have hazard lights.
Oh, let's see. We sure do.
So we have signal lights. We have headlights. We have headlights. And we have one tail light burned out.
You do?
Yeah. So we shall fix that now and continue on. See, it's always nice to check your work, eh?
There is.
So we'll, I'll put this back together, which is only going to take a second. Pull the light bulb out. Hopefully it's just the light bulb. Then we'll work on the front. Plug is good. The bulb is gone. So we're going to, we might as well pick that up after. We put that one in, but use the dielectric grease in the plug, guys, while you got it apart. And it's just basically a twist type of outfit. So you just put it in the socket, if you can find it, like so, and twist, and you're done. Yeah, so, yeah.
There we go.
At least we know now everything works.
Moving forward.
First time. Wow. For the safety police, Kathy, show them.
You got safety police?
Oh, there's always safety police on YouTube. Always. Always.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're hired by YouTube. Yeah, they're on YouTube's payroll.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I think so. Well, don't take that all day.
Oh man, that's fast.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'll just let the tie rod ends go. Okay, so now we're at the tie rods. The reason why we're at them is because if you looked at our other video, you'll see that the boots are gone. So we need to get at the boots. So the first thing we're going to do is before we do anything, we're going to just loosen up this bolt here. Okay, so we're going to loosen that up. That's 19 millimeter. Now you just want to crack it a bit loose. You want to take a 17 millimeter socket. You want to take out your cotter pin and take down your castle head nut. Okay, now I have seen guys take a hammer and hit the knuckle to the point where this pops out. That's not a real good method of taking your tie rod in there. You should have a puller. Now sometimes you can get away with a small pitman iron puller. I kind of like to use this type of puller. And you put it on like so. Now sometimes this don't always work the way you want it to work either. So we're going to, and it works the way I want it to work. And that's how you do it, guys. You don't beat the crap out of anything. Now, I hope everybody's paying attention because I'm going to take this caliper here and I'm going to, anybody's familiar with these things? I don't know if you want, can you get all that in the shot?
Yep.
Okay. These are kind of great, even for the layman. You know, you don't have to understand even how to use them, but they take 3 different measurements. They take a measurement here, which is the equal here, which is the equal here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it there like that, and we're going to tighten it up. Now we know exactly where that nut goes back when we take it off. And we just simply unscrew it like so. Lay it there. Okay, so I tried to put that stupid little clip on and there's just no way of getting at it. So I'm going to take off the whole joint and we're going to take that clip and go over to the vise because I can't get at it, see, because of the front differential. Then we'll go over and see if we can wind that clamp on. Okay, so basically I've removed the whole tie rod end and it just simply unscrews from the hydraulic cylinder on the power steering. And I've just basically winded this on, as you can see, and I've greased it beforehand, and it's still not what I call easy, but you don't want to damage the boot. So there you go. And that is how it's done. I'm going to tell you something, guys. It's not for the faint-hearted. You want more patience than Donald Trump got money. You know, so, but anyway, we're going to put this back on now. I'm going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on that tread, and I'm just going to grunt it in, and then we're going to reassemble. I suspect that probably Kubota got some kind of a pipe where you load up this on a piece of pipe, slide it in over, and then pull it on. I don't know. I never checked the manual. But anyway, we're going to go put this on now with a bit of blue Loctite and reassemble. Blue Loctite. You don't want to put red. Red is kind of permanent. And boy, I hope the people out in YouTube land don't find this too boring.
That's very interesting. I find it interesting.
You think? You're just saying that because you're just trying to keep your job as a photographer.
Well, that don't hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of a conflict of interest, isn't it, eh? Yeah. Anyway, when you're doing this, you want to have a wrench over on the other side holding the other side as well, because that rack can actually, the hydraulic cylinder can actually turn, right? So, back to this. Now, we put this on. Remember our adjustment?
That's already set up.
Well, now we're going to screw it out till it just touches there, which it is. Then we're going to put our outer joint on. Now remember, that's going to be a little bit different because we've had to turn it, right? So we're going to put that on. We're going to tighten it up like that. Then down here somewhere, there's a nut. No, not me. A proper nut.
I wasn't even thinking.
You were thinking it.
I was not.
I could tell you were thinking it.
Yeah, you heard that, did you?
Yep. So it's a 17 millimeter, which will be at the end of the gun. But I'm not going to put it on with the gun because they don't require being tight. So I'm just, or being torqued on like that. I'm going to put it on like a grunt and a half, line up the hole, put a brand new cotter pin through. Never reuse an old cotter pin. Anyway, the crown head nut is on, and it's on tight. We have the blue Loctite put on the inner part of the tie rod, and that's tightened up. The lock nut here is tightened up. Now we got to go over and do the other side, and the other side will be Sam Ting. And of course, Sam Ting was a joiner.
You know him too?
Oh, I knew him too. Oh yeah, he hung around with Bill Shakespeare.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, there 'tis in the camp, you know 'tis her. That's, you know.
Oh, Bill, just down the harbor.
Just down the harbor, yeah. So, not William, Bill.
No, Bill.
Okay, now, we gotta go over there. So, we'll do this side now. Or attempt to. Hey, bye.
Yes, bye.
As this is Newfoundland.
What did you say the purpose of that tool there is?
To pull this joint up without damaging the knuckle here.
Put you back into it.
My Lord, man.
Come on, put some brute force into
You're
it.
not fit to work for. Make
Give
no
her, as
wonder.
they say. Give her.
Make no wonder I can't quit here. You can't get no one else to work for you.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh, I'm positive.
I don't think so.
I think so. You want to give it a try? Because I certainly don't mind taking a few days off.
No, I don't think so.
No, see? Funny how that works out, isn't it? Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the guy who wanted to try to find the meaning of life?
The meaning of life.
The meaning of life.
No.
So he decides he's going to try to be a monk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes up into the high mountains and he talks to the high priest. And the high priest said, "Yes, my son." He said, "Indeed you can." He said, "But we got a few rules. And one of the rules are you're only allowed to say 2 words every 10 years. Boy, he said, "That's no problem." So anyway, they showed him his room. Anyway, 10 years came and went. And he got summons to the high priest. And the high priest said, "Say your 2 words, my son." He said, "Bed hard." He said, "Okay, that's your 2 words. Go on back to your room." So 10 years came and went again. And he got summoned back to the room, back to the priest. Priest said, "Say your 2 words." He said, "Food cold." He said, okay, go on back. So he went back. Another 10 years went by. 30 years later, he gets called into the high priest again. The high priest said, say your 2 words. And he says, I quit. And you know what the high priest said to him?
What?
He says, I'm not surprised you've done nothing but complain since you've been here.
Took him 30 years though. That's a good one.
Now I got to go over and I got to block that other side there because that's turning. Almost done.
Almost.
Yep, 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 yep. That's it.
Good job, well
So
done.
yeah, so it's a few little more tips for BX owners. Hope you enjoyed it. Just thought we'd tape it a little bit. You can thank Kathy for all the taping because when I get going here, I usually don't stop long enough to get a camera on to go. So there it is, eh? We can say this one's completed.
Yeah,
Yeah, lots of work on it, but it's a good machine now,
it sure is.
eh?
Yeah.
And what's next? Duramax diesel.
Duramax diesel.
Yeah, so we're going into the truck repairs now after the tractor repairs.
That's right.
And then the wheels are painted. We have to mount those on the tires, mount tires and then balance them, and then get that vehicle in. That's in for some work as well. So always something to do, eh?
It is always something to do, which is
So
good.
folks, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you got any comments, continue on making them. We'll try to answer them where we can. And hope you learned something. I'm no better at putting those inner clamps on now than I was 2 years ago.
So you learned that.
Well, it's just, now there's probably going to be a dozen people out there saying, oh yeah, but you can do it this way. Look, if anybody can say they can do it better, don't tell me about it. All I want to see is the video where you're doing it better.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Eh?
Yeah, show you.
Don't tell me.
No.
Show me.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Because I've seen guys just about going out of their minds putting those on, that type of work, and ball joints, especially mold ball joints.
Yeah.
I've seen them going out of their minds trying to put those clips on. So guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care, be good to each other, and God bless. Holy smokes, we got another BX. A BX24 to do. Oh well, work tomorrow.